We're going to do this $10 million best ball draft, trying to win $1 million. A whole bunch of my viewers jumped in this one. We're playing for keeps. They are not going to take it easy on me. In fact, they're probably going to snipe a bunch of my players. Let's take a look at this best ball tournament and see how it goes. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, and let's go.
He's a legend.
All right, so I am not picking in the top 6 or even 7, the 11 pick. Okay, I got the 11 pick. Got the Smizzle on Kevin89. Love to see it. Love it when my emotes show up. It's kind of funny to see my emotes showing up on or the little beardy logo. Bacon is 12. All right. C Fichtenbaum is 10. No snipes. So like, when are we gonna start picking? That would be great. This would be awesome if like the draft like started. As a starter for you guys, it'd be awesome. Don't you think it'd be great? Let's refresh. Nope, still not going. One day the timers will work correctly. There we go. I just had to I had to do the little circle dance with the mouse to make the draft work right. Okay, we're off. We're off. Who are we gonna get around here? Amon-Ra 10. 11.8, 9.8, 11.7, 11.8, Bijan around 10 on ADP. It'll be interesting to see what Tony Pollard just went 1 overall. Welcome to DraftKings Best Ball, everybody. An auto drafter at 1, and he took Tony Pollard. All right, we're off and running. This is the way that DraftKings Best Ball goes. This is how things work. This is how everything goes. DraftKings. I swear to God, that is about the most DraftKings thing that like Tom Brady going 1, right? Austin Eckler. Oh my goodness. DraftKings Best Ball is a circus. Like always. It's always a circle. Amon-Ra St. Brown goes there. I go AJB. I will go AJB. Leaves me out. 12 pick Rindell's 23. CeeDee Lamb there. That leaves me with a choice. I can go Bijan, Waddle, Wilson, Barton. No, I'm going to go Jalen. I'm going with the stack up front. AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. I know I'm not going to get Devontae Smith. That's just not going to happen. He ain't going to fall to me in the 3rd round. He typically goes between picks 20 to 26. But I have this premium stack up top that I can build through later should I choose. So we'll see how it goes. Robinson, Chubb. Where is there, draft board. Pretty standard start, except for the Pollard 1.1. I want to see what he does in the 2nd round. I'm excited now. This is impressive to me. At this point, he could draft this really well, or this could be performance art. And I'm on the edge of my seat, waiting to see if this is performance art, or if he was just kind of clicking around, right? Like, here's the question. Was Kevin I7... was he clicking guys that he was wanting to draft at the 2-3 turn and then and he froze, or he had to refresh, or he forgot that he didn't see the clock and he didn't put a pick in, so it took the guy he wanted to take at 2-3, which is a mistake that could happen? Or is this going to be a full-on performance art piece with the 1.1? I'm very excited. I'm very, very, very excited. Going super early on Hurts there. I could have gone a different route. I chose not to. Vinny the Vinster says, Pitts incoming. I'm excited. You have to be excited for this. Patrick Mahomes going to Moss Boss. I think Jay Sizzle wanted him in the 2nd round. Geno Smith. It's performance art. Full-on performance art from the 1.1. Who's he going to pick next? This is very exciting. This is very exciting. My feet are like tapping like it's nobody's business right now. Pollard, Geno, and then a sensible pick with T. Higgins. A very sensible T. Higgins pick there. I mean, it was performance art for 1 and 2, though. Good value on Geno, for sure. It's going to be hilarious when he wins this one. Yeah, watch Geno throw for 50 touchdowns. Moss Boss is on auto pick after taking Jefferson and Mahomes. We're off to the most DraftKings of starts in best ball right here. It's here. I think the rest of the players in this draft are all my community members who are trying to beat the ever-loving. You took Metcalf knowing that Geno was gone, or Kevin89 is banking on Kevin I7 knowing something, and therefore, that Geno Smith 50 touchdown season is coming, so Metcalf going to be on the other side of it. Kelsey, Barkley, Josh Allen goes in the third. He certainly would have gone here to the dock if he had not gotten picked there. I believe Jay Sizzle wanted Mahomes there, which would have made it possible maybe for Allen to go later. Mike Graham going Lamar. Did not get Andrews to fall to him. He took your Higgins, so I took his Metcalf. Okay, that's fine. Spite is a good reason for drafting. Calvin Ridley, Wilson, Cup, $50 with a 0 RB start. You want me to go Izzy Azalea here? Who's Izzy Azalea in draft boards? Like, I know she's fancy, but not somebody I'm probably going to pick in the third round. Who do we have remaining? Jonathan Taylor, sliding down draft boards. I don't really draft that many running backs on DraftKings, but Ramondre seems like a solid ADP value there, falling like 8-9 spots. Apparently we're going to get ADP values because of the guy in the 1 spot. And we might also get some because of the guy in the 2, depending on what rankings he has uploaded or if he queued anyone. Josh Jacobs taking the value, I guess, assuming he's going to sign. And Christian Kirk. I'll take average Amari. Let's go back to the draft board. I do kind of like the draft board. See someone on DK typing Justin Bieber and then frustrated when he's not in the player pool. Yeah, could be a thing. AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, Ramondre Stevenson, and Amari Cooper. I don't hate that at all. One of my favorite starts is on DraftKings or on Underdog. Specifically more on DraftKings because of full PPR and bonuses. Diggs, Allen, Stevenson is such a powerful start. Such a powerful start. ETN makes another powerful start. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Patrick Mahomes. Another very powerful start, if you can get that one. Somebody's saying why Patrick Mahomes doesn't correlate. But he does. Week 17 is a thing. Joe Burrow early goes with Jamar Chase. Kevin 89 racking that up. Derrick Henry plays Houston twice in the playoffs, right? Like week 15 and week 17. Doesn't Tennessee play them 2 times? DeAndre Swift. I'm telling you, this is performance art. That's way ahead of ADP. But then he picked the very sensible T. Higgins. Tyreek Hill, Lamar, and Andrews is your favorite 1, 2, 3. That's okay. That's also reaching ahead of ADP though. But I like that one as well. And Brandon Ayuk, Christian Watson, a little later, right? He's going much later on DraftKings than he does on Underdog, which is interesting to see with DraftKings scoring being what it is. Kind of crazy. This man is already clocked out for the week and drinking heavily. Alexander Madison. Here comes the sensible part of the draft. Lethal 39 just showed up in the chat and said, wait, I'm just getting here. Pollard 1.01? Wait till you get to the second round, Lethal. Look who he took in the second. That is not one of my viewers, by the way. Justin Fields to $50. Travis Etienne before that. 2 running backs, 2 running backs, 2 running backs. Bijan and Breece Hall. I have not been drafting Breece Hall. Link Theory, Eckler, Williams, Herbert. Love the Chargers. Absolutely love the Chargers. I'm up. Oh my God, it's me. It's me. Hi. How did you guys leave him fine? I don't normally take a running back there, but it just feels too low. It just feels way too low for that. Like the value is too good for me to pass up there. AJ Brown, Cooper Godwin, Aaron Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, Jalen Hurts. How could you not like it? How could you not like that start? I like that start. I don't dislike many of your starts though. Kirk Lawrence stack building here. Not much correlation in this one. Love the triple Chargers for best ball. I think the Chargers could have that bounce back year. How many times do we see flop lag with the trendy upside team in a season? Last year, everybody was all over the Chargers, right? Everybody was all over the Chargers. Chargers are going to explode. Herbert's too good. He's this, he's that. And like their offense, like a lot of guys got injured. Their coaching staff were cowards at calling plays. They now bring in somebody who has done a lot better at play calling in their offensive coordinator spot with Moore. Like they had one of the lowest ADOTs on first down. It was like 5 yards. They wouldn't let the biggest armed quarterback in the league throw the ball further than 5 yards downfield on first down. So you see that flop lag where like you didn't get it last year. The Chargers offense didn't explode last year, but like that year after, those trendy offenses from the previous year explode that following year. This year, the trendy offense is Jacksonville. Oh, they got him all these weapons. Look how well he played late in the season in the playoffs. He's a generational quarterback talent. He seems to be coming into his own. All of those sorts of stories and narratives. And I'm not saying that I don't think that Jacksonville is going to do well. I love that Jacksonville offense. I agree with all of those things. But we make plans and the football gods laugh. Okay, wait, here comes performance art. I can't move this up fast enough. Who's he going to take? Pickens. That's fine. Come on. Impress me. Dalton Schultz, he did it! Ladies and gentlemen, this man don't miss. This man never misses. You got to love this guy. How do you not love this guy? He's absolutely the best DraftKings drafter. The award for most DraftKings-ish drafter in the history of DraftKings Best Ball Drafts. This guy. This is outstanding. If I look, we used to say, I was not good at Counter-Strike back in the day. Counter-Strike Source, whatever it was. I was not good at that game. I would have fun playing that game, but I was not good. My KD ratio was never good. I wasn't sweaty. I would just play it to run around and do stupid things and have fun. We had like a spray of a banana peel and we'd put it on the ground and people would run over it and we'd try and shoot them from like inside a locker or something. Like we would just goof around. So I would put, after my name, I'd put like a bar, like a line. And if you were below me, we called it the suck line. And if you were below the suck line, that meant you sucked. You have to have a better KD ratio than me at Counter-Strike. That's just the way that it went. This dude right here, he's the suck line. If you finish below him, you suck. Don't finish below him. Just make sure you don't finish below him. That's it. That's how this draft is going. We have a suck line. There it is. Don't suck. If you finish below him, you're kicked out of the Smith gang. No, I'm not going to do that. 82, floor plus upside? Sure. I'm going to go double elite QB in that spot. It allows me to check, right? So like if you're first to act after the flop, you can check without any information. You know, I'm going to check early. So basically you're last to act now. So it allows me to check it back here. Rindell's went Brandon Cooks and Evan Ingram. He does have the Jacksonville stack. I'm going to go with James Cook. Yep. Pow. Now, I don't normally draft more than 2 running backs on DraftKings in the first 10 rounds. But the value that I got on Jones here in the 5th round was too much to pass up. He was like 10 picks behind ADP. And I'm not sure that I would take any of these other wide receivers that were in that range. Like I could have gone Godwin here and maybe Gabe Davis would have been my favorite pick in that spot. He would have been the one guy that I might have reached for in that spot. So this draft does kind of go a little bit against my rules that I tend to try to stick by. But pass catching upside running back, like 17% target market share for Ramondre last year. So definitely a pass catching running back. Even if they were to sign one of these name free agents that is still out there, why not Elijah Moore for a double stack with Cooper? I could, but I didn't feel like I needed to. Not in that spot. Am I high on Gabe this year? I would say I'm market on Gabe this year. I wouldn't say that I'm high or low. I think he's fine. You know, I'm fine with him at price. I'm high on that offense. And I think that he ran about as bad as somebody could run last year with him getting that early season injury that clearly was affecting him in and out of breaks constantly for over the first half of the year. So there was no way for him to pay off on that ridiculous hype, but nothing has changed, right? Think about how high everybody was on Gabe Davis. He was like a 3rd round pick, right? He's like a 6th, 7th, or 8th round pick now in pretty much every draft, right? But what's changed? Has anything changed? Josh Allen still is quarterback. Same offense, same coaching staff. Nobody was signed to take his spot or snaps or targets away in that offense, right? Nothing has changed. So if nothing has changed about Gabe Davis and his situation, and he's going 3 to 5 rounds later in every draft that you do, why has our attitude towards him changed when he had a season that was definitely affected by injuries, right? That was the change for him last year. Nothing else, just that. So yeah, I think he's fantastic there. So I was asked before, why didn't I take Elijah? It's like, I'm fine with Elijah. I'm not sure that he's going to get massive market share, but I do know what David Njoku is. So there's my secondary guy. I could not talk about that at the time. You know, it's not something that I was at liberty to discuss at the time. It's interesting because Gibson's ADP is now lower than Robinson's, and it hasn't been for the entirety of this draft season. I'll take the ADP value on Robinson. I feel like I'm higher on Robinson than the public. I feel like I'm on Brian Robinson Island, and I'm okay with that because I'm constantly getting him around the 10th round of drafts. You don't sort by ADP, or is that custom rankings? They are custom rankings. I upload. DraftKings finally made it so that we can upload rankings. So I utilize the Establish the Run top 300, as you can see right here. If you're a member of Establish the Run, you can go over there and download this little quick CSV and upload it before you do a draft on DraftKings, which allows you to have their daily updated rankings and where they stand. You can see that DK Metcalf, they're below. You can see that they're a little higher on this player, they're a little higher on Debo than the public is, and you can have a little bit of a sharper edge in your draft list versus what everybody else is just going by ADP. Smizzle.tv/ETR if you wanted to go sign up at a discount for Establish the Runs. Fantastic products, daily fantasy, season long, and everything else. You don't have your Dallas stack, but you'll take it. Look, Dallas is fine. Tyler Boyd, he went Pickett and Jones the round before. I don't know if this draft is going to get voided. So White went in the 7th round. I think that's right at ADP right now, but his ADP has been flying. So Mims in the 11th. Love Mims, but I don't love him there. I love Marvin Mims, but I don't love him there. Make sure, I've talked about this as well. The Broncos are a fantastic one. They're the week 17 matchup with the Chargers stacks, right? So if you get a Chargers stack here, you should be looking like here to get guys that fill in and here, right? So he's building Link Theory, building that week 17 stack, and Mims is an easy click down here, especially with the injury to Tim Patrick. He now slides in and is not competing for wide receiver 3 snaps. He is now by default, the two sweetest words in the English language, default, the number 3 wide receiver in an offense. It's going to run 3 wide receivers a lot. The only difference between Brian Robinson Jr. and the rest of my rest of my running backs is that my other running backs have more pass catching upside. But we don't know that Brian Robinson Jr. doesn't have pass catching upside. Antonio Gibson is the better pass catcher. Did you know he played wide receiver in college? And so like the rationale and reasoning for having Antonio Gibson above Brian Robinson Jr. is that, well, if Brian Robinson gets hurt, then Gibson gets more of the running work, more of the inside the 5 work, and maintains his pass game work. But like, what if it happens the other way? What if Gibson gets hurt? Does that mean that Brian Robinson would get more pass game work? Or do we just not assume that because we think that he can't catch? Wow, this Pickens a little slim at this point. We can go with Jacoby. We're at pick 134. Well, I'm coming up on pick 134. Drafted a wide receiver to play running back, yet make him the 2-down back. Look, the NFL confuses me sometimes with the decisions that they make. How good a pass catcher was Travis Etienne in college, and then they can't get him into the pass game? Remember Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Damian Harris, good pick. I'll take Higbee in that spot. Let's go to the draft board. Laporta. Do that so we can see everything. No, now we can't see anything. There we go. Sliders. So my Brian Robinson argument is that injuries happen in both directions to tight end run, get them while they're hot. If we're using that argument that if Brian Robinson Jr. gets hurt, then Antonio Gibson becomes a 70% snap, 70, 80% snap guy, and we know that he's good in the passing game, why can't we apply the same to Brian Robinson Jr.? You just know that he's impossible, that you can't throw him the ball 4 times? Do you remember when James Conner was a lead back in Arizona and Chase Edmonds was there as well? And for the first however many weeks of the season, it's like 2 years ago, James Conner was useless in daily fantasy because even if you got the outcome you wanted, like a 2-touchdown game, he'd only get 10 carries, no targets. He'd score 2 touchdowns for 30 yards and he'd score 15 points. So he was completely useless to us in daily fantasy. Then Chase Edmonds went down. And then James Conner became the 75-80% guy who's getting 20 to 25 opportunities a week with 4 to 6 targets every week and maintained all the inside the 5 work and all of the carries. So who's to say that if we're putting our eggs in the basket of, well, if this running back gets hurt, this guy maintains more value, why can't we then have that same thought for the guy on the other side? And if we're doing that and they have similar ADPs, why would I not take the one that I'm projecting as the 60 to 65% snap and touch guy? That is my Brian Robinson versus Antonio Gibson argument. As much as I've been on the Antonio Gibson train, this offense, this coaching staff, this team has shown us who they are and what they think about Antonio Gibson the last 3 years. We know who they are. We know what they think of him. So like, Wow, it really was a tight end. Higbee, Laporta, Dulcich, Everett, Kmet, Smith Jr., Okonkwo. Who's next? What do we have remaining here? What do I need? I don't even know what I have. Draft board. I got 4-4-2-2. Don't need another quarterback. Probably going to have to draft another tight end later. I don't need one right now. There goes Mingo. Mingo, the man who could be a boat. Let's put Mooney and Thielen in the queue here. You think Herbert will outperform his ADP? I like him. Hodgins, damn it. So I put them both in the queue with no intention of drafting them, hoping that my viewers might not take Hodgins there, but they took Hodgins. I'm going to take Gallup. I am certainly buying the Cowboys offense later at ADP. How dare you say that he's going to get redacted? How dare you? Rendell's with 2 back-to-back. Thielen followed by Hunter Renfrow. I'll triple up. Go DPJ. I'm not sold on the ADP gap. I'm not sold on the ADP gap between, and I like Elijah. This is not me saying that Elijah Moore is bad. I like Elijah Moore, but it's hard to rationalize Elijah Moore versus DPJ and a 6-round differential on ADP. It's hard for me to rationalize that. As much as I like Elijah Moore, and I like him as a prospect, I'm just not sure that he is going to see that much of a target differential between him and DPJ. Moore is their number 2. We don't know. We don't. We really don't. We'll probably know in a couple of weeks. We don't know right now. Come on, give me the... Why does it do that? Why can't I have this higher and keep your guys' names on the screen? Like, the whole point is to do this there so you can see these players from behind my head. Jalen Hyatt, Dawson Knox. We go 20 rounds here on DraftKings. Will Levis in the 15th. 2 running backs, by the way, for Kevin I7, who is picking 2 spots ahead of Kevin 8-9, which makes sense on math. Track 2. That's clearly how DraftKings sorted these draft spots out. Pierce, Samuel. I also like Pierce. If you're somebody who drafted Richardson, like the doc did here, I don't mind Pierce in this range to kind of pair with him. I'm not trying to like overstack with Richardson because like his best case scenario is that he's Justin Fields from last year. And if he's Justin Fields from last year, then they're going to throw it 20 times. His upside for you in fantasy is that he's going to run the ball an absolute metric ton. He's going to be the goal line guy. They're going to push him at the goal line, just like they did with Jalen Hurts. That's going to be the new en vogue thing, is that they're going to set up essentially in victory formation anytime teams get to the 1, and they're just going to have the 2 running backs shove the quarterback in all the damn time because they didn't change that this summer. Like, they didn't make that illegal, but they made RPO, like they made read option illegal, but they didn't make that illegal. I'm interested to see the shakeout on what offensive coordinators do. I feel like they're just going to run more pistol, where the running back lines up in a shotgun and the running back lines up behind the run, and then they do the RPO or they do the read option that way, as opposed to, you can't do it with a forward handoff fake. You can't have the guy go in front of your quarterback and fake it here, but you could do play action back here, but you can't do it in front towards the center. You can do RPO, you just can't do that. Yeah, it's stupid. It's almost like what a pointless. No, there's a point to it. It's not a point that makes sense, but there's a point. They were clearly trying to do a thing. Who the hell do we take here? This is not a pretty spot in the draft. I'll take Hurst. There's nothing. I needed a 3rd tight end. That gives me my 3rd tight end. All 3 with different bye weeks. No tight end before did I take no tight end before the 10th round? I would have been happy waiting on tight end. What was the point of it? The NFL doesn't like running quarterbacks. The owners don't like running quarterbacks. They feel that there's too much risk. They don't want to have to pay these guys and then they get hurt. So they're trying to take away, because it's extremely viable, right? It's an extremely viable strategy and it works. And it makes these players, these coaches, very dependent on doing this thing. And that thing puts their player that they're paying the most money of, the talisman of the organization, the face front guy of the organization, it puts them at risk more often than if you just didn't run that style of offense. And so they're trying to take away the efficiency from that thing of having these designed runs and exposing your quarterback to hits as a result. Like, there's a reason. I don't like the reason, but there's a reason. See, like, I can't pull this up here now and show you who's picking who. Taysom Hill, Michael Mayer. So we'll see how that affects things once the regular season gets here, but you're not going to see those snap, hold the ball out here, put it in the running back's tummy as he goes by, and then you read where the defensive end goes, and I'm going to, do I hand it to him? Do I leave it there, or do I go the other way? Or do I pull it out and then throw to a guy over the middle? Musgrave, Haskins and Gesicki, Sammy Howell. So I've got a 2-5-6-3 team. I do need more wide receivers. You guys have eaten up all the wide receivers. I'll take a couple of chances on guys here. You want a third QB, but you have Dotson and Sammy? Makes sense. You didn't want a third QB. Yeah. Look, if they have top 10 percentile years for their projection, then Sam Howell is going to have a solid year. What are my thoughts on Jaylen Warren? He's fine. Zamir White. A lot of James Conner references this year. You got the James Conner as Le'Veon Bell's guy when Le'Veon Bell sat out. You have James Conner in my Brian Robinson comp. You're taking A-Chain a lot late, but you're a homer. I mean, I like him a lot. There goes Tank Dell. Tankity tank. Do I dabble in team totals? I'm in California, so I don't really sports bet, but I'm hyper aware of team totals for the things that I look at. These 5, 5, 5. A lot of week 5s. Week 7 and week 13 are the most annoying bye weeks. Let's go for upside with Michi. Woods is safety. You know, Claypool should do all right. Like these guys are like Allen Rod. Like these guys are not thrilling. We're like, if Michi starts coming back and makes an impact based on the profile of wide receiver that he is or was before, not much here. There really is not much here. Like so many teams have week 13 that are overlapping that if you draft an early week 13 stack, it does limit you on the back end. Go Bobby Trees. It definitely limits you on the back end of these drafts. 2 picks remaining, and we are scraping the bottom of the barrel at this point. Ritter, Ferguson. Oh, you're asking because, team win totals. You think the Jets 9.5 is kind of low? 10 wins is a lot. You don't ever really sports bet, but you kind of like that one. Yeah, there goes CJ Stroud to pair with Tank Dell. Paris Campbell, Reynolds, Tannehill. I would have liked to have gotten, where is it? It was up in here. I would have liked to have had Goddard fall to me here, but Goddard not falling to me here, because I wasn't going to take him at 6, would have been the way. Swift went super early, and I'm not going to take anybody else. Like, that would have been the one change I would have liked on this team, and I still could have grabbed Watson at this spot. That would have been the one thing that I would have hoped went differently for me in this draft. And I swear to God that Hurst looks like Tormund from Game of Thrones. Every time I see that headshot, it's like, that's just Tormund. It would have been Gallup and Michi for you. I sniped you twice. I don't think so. So Vinny said he feels like the Jets could go 10-7, health permitting, and Rodgers not falling off a cliff production wise. I don't think Rodgers is going to. So like production isn't something that I care about. Production. And here's why. Look, yes, I care about production because it's fantasy sports and you need production. But production is a part or is a result. It's a result from efficiency. And Rodgers is one of the most efficient quarterbacks of all time. The most efficient quarterback of all time. He doesn't turn the ball over in modern football. More so than Peyton Manning, more so than Tom Brady, more so than any other guys. Highest touchdown percentage, amazing touchdown interception percentage. He does have weapons on that team for him to throw to. And you're not going to bring in somebody like him to run the football 45 times a game. So I think his efficiency is going to stay. I think that's going to remain. And if his efficiency remains, then I don't really see a problem with him. The results will be there, in my opinion, because the efficiency will remain because he's just an efficient guy. He's just a quarterback who's going to be efficient. Shout out to whoever took downs. UNC, one of our mods, is always looking to draft any player that's a Tar Heel. Feel like I need to get another running back in this spot. Noah Fant. I know that Bacon, who is Rendell's 23, wants to snipe me, but I've got 5 guys that I could pick in this spot. I could pick, going in no order particular, I could go here, I could go here, I could go here. He does not snipe me. He goes with him. Kyron Williams. I'm going to go with not Pierre Strong because I already have the guy in front of him. I am going to go with Kyron Williams. Take a long shot. Did I see his arms? Yes. Are we all falling prey to the Twitter pictures of Mac Hollins' guns at this point? Is that just where we're at? We'll finish off this draft. Another draft against my viewers on DraftKings. This one in the $10, $1 million tournament. Let me know in the replies who you thought drafted the best team. I'll give you the little quick peek here. Here's the first 7 rounds. Obviously, it was not Kevin I7. but I know I'm going to get a lot of replies at how much everybody loves Kevin I7's teams because y'all are a bunch of jokers. Scrolling down past the 7th round, here we have 8 through 14. And then to finish everything up, here's the last few rounds of the draft. 2 rookie quarterbacks, Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, on that one team. I don't know how much of a fan I am of that in particular, but I love the front half of that draft. But those are his QBs 2 and 3. We'll see how they get there. Rookie quarterbacks that aren't running quarterbacks, and neither Young or Stroud are running quarterbacks in the sense that Indiana Richardson is a running quarterback. They just have such a higher floor, and maybe Bryce Young is just that good where he's going to get there. But like 20 touchdowns is a lot for a rookie quarterback. 25 plus is almost unheard of. There's very few rookie quarterbacks in the last 20 years who have ever eclipsed that mark. So it's a tough road to hoe. And I tend to avoid quarterbacks that are rookies for fantasy, and especially guys in the first 10 rounds who are their targeted wide receivers, as their efficiency and their totals and their results tend to go down with that rookie quarterback. But thank you guys for being here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.